when I first started. It was so small. It was basically a very tiny group of friends almost. A lot of late nights and a lot of fun moments for sure. Yeah, it was sort of a bit of a renegade organization, and that was amazing, as you can well imagine.
Piers is a consummate cinephile.
He knew so much about film, period.
Piers essentially has created the modern idea of a film festival.
He's knowledgeable, but he's also incredibly compassionate.
If there's a word for Piers, as gentle and as kind a man as he is, he's very bold.
The Festival of Festivals will begin this Thursday evening at the University Theatre with a gala opening.
The philosophy of the festival's always been to just show the best of world cinema and have a very, very strong connection to our own domestic Canadian cinema.
Piers first arrived at the festival from the Canadian Film Institute in Ottawa. He started out here as a programmer.
When he decided that he might try to take the job at TIFF, he had a big vision.
And the big, huge thing in 1984 was the gigantic Canadian retrospective.
There was very little support, but they went ahead and they did it because they were great believers in Canadian filmmakers.
Up until that point, you know, Canadian films, frankly, were just not watched. And what was so astonishing was that people came.
It turned out to be the blockbuster hit of the festival that year. And so out of that, Perspectives Canada was born.
I really wanted to carve out a space for them. I thought that was really important. For them to get to meet an audience, for them to have their films seen, bought, and sold.
I think he must have been very nervous about the whole enterprise. This was a very bold move for the festival to have done at that point.
Perspectives Canada had an enormous impact for me because it catapulted our films into international film festivals.
It allowed you to be with your peers and have this kind of curated group of films that said, this is the best that is coming out of Canada.
In so doing, he became a champion of Canadian film, a seriously endangered species.
The whole concept of celebrating Canadian films was, I thought, fabulous.
This is the most important thing we do. It's a celebration of Canadian film. We're creating a space for Canadian filmmakers and a platform for a lot of very talented people who should be better known in Canada.
I think it was quite evident early on that Piers wanted something internationally significant to land in this place.
He's a very bold thinker. Piers wants TIFF to always be a home of international cinema, as many languages and varieties of filmmaking as possible.
There was very much a push. There was a push on the Canadian side, and then there was a push on the international side.
There are a handful of festivals where selection actually propels a film forward. Getting this festival to be on that very short list is a phenomenal accomplishment, and Piers deserves a very large portion of the credit for it.
I mean, it's a very rich melange of films right across the board, from the big Hollywood studio productions with stars to very low-budget, esoteric, experimental films.
You know, the festival had already become a success, but it was only 10 days. And Piers really wanted that love of film to extend all through the year, and that's where the idea for TIFF Bell Lightbox came from.
He wanted it. He knew what it was. He knew what it could become.
In a way, the establishment of Bell Lightbox is a direct line from the establishment of Perspectives Canada. It was where our culture could find a home.
I think Piers has created an exceptional place in film history.
The sophistication of the Toronto audience, which is known worldwide, is a direct result of Piers Handling's work.
There come these pillars that you know you can rely on, that are there, that hold you up, and Piers is in that pillar category.
Very often you go to film festivals and people care about films, but they don't care about filmmakers. Most filmmakers always wanted to go back to Toronto because you felt appreciated.
I don't think we'd be where we are today as an institution if we hadn't had the benefit of 36 years of Piers Handling here.
You don't have to make movies to make movies better.
What Piers Handling has created for this city, that was a dream that the young man had in 1971. It took him a long time, but it's a pretty impressive result.